India has once again expressed its deep concern over the violence and instability in Myanmar and the threat posed by the trafficking of narcotics and weapons. External Affairs Minister S Jaishankar conveyed India's concerns to his Myanmarese counterpart Than Shwe during a meeting in New Delhi yesterday. Jaishankar met Than Shwe, who is also the Myanmar Deputy Prime Minister and led the ruling junta from 1992 to 2011 at his hotel while he was transiting through the Indian capital on his way back home from a foreign visit. This is the first publicly acknowledged visit to New Delhi by a senior junta member since the military took power in Myanmar through a coup in February 2021. Taking to social media, Jaishankar said that India discussed its deep concern at the impact of continuing violence and instability in Myanmar on India's border. The External Affairs Minister also said that India is open to engaging all stakeholders in addressing this situation. Jaishankar further called for an early return to the path of democratic transition in Myanmar and said India stands ready to help in any manner. This was in line with India's stated position that all players in Myanmar should cease hostilities and return to the path of dialogue to find a solution. Myanmar's junta has suffered a series of humiliating defeats since three powerful armed groups came together last year to launch Operation 1027. The groups joined hands with smaller militias and captured key towns and trade posts along the Myanmar's border with India, Bangladesh and China, and overran hundreds of military bases and positions. The junta's grip on power has largely been limited to the central parts of Myanmar. India's concerns have grown in recent weeks as government troops and resistance forces have clashed in the Sakhain region, which borders the northeastern states of Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur and Nagaland. There have also been reports of Chin armed groups in Myanmar smuggling weapons into Manipur, which has been troubled by sectarian clashes for more than a year now. Jaishankar also sought Myanmar's cooperation for the early return of Indian nationals trapped in Myawaddy and pressed for credible security protection for the ongoing projects in the country. It may be mentioned here that only recently India had expressed grave concern over what it termed influx or increased influx of people from Myanmar into the northeast. The issue was raised during the 56th regular sessions of the Human Rights Council in Geneva. India stated that increased influx of people from Myanmar into the northeast and the challenge of transnational crimes such as drug and human trafficking continue to remain an area of grave concern. And meanwhile, it may be mentioned here that over 600 Myanmarese army personnel had crossed over to India, mostly across Mizoram border, as the conflict escalated last year.